All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possession to give to anyone who had need. If you want to know the center of what an Acts 2 church is, what we want to long to be like again, right? What we want to actually practice living out, mimicking. It's not that the Spirit did this powerful thing through a sermon that produced this incredible growth in the numbers of Jesus followers. That's not it. It's that the Spirit did an incredible thing in the way that his people, were choosing to live, where they wanted to live a life of self-sacrifice towards one another, for love for one another. And they kept doing this in a way where it was witnessed by people outside of the community, and therefore there was numerical growth. How are we sitting with this right now? Oh my gosh, what a big break for the pastors of this church giving sermons, right? I think it's a big deal to think about church and the activity of it. And if we do have a longing for the Spirit to move among our midst, it's not going to be done through what we think are certain skill sets. It's not necessarily done through better prayer. It's not necessarily done through better teaching. It's not necessarily done through better evangelism, actually. These are all skill sets. I think the Acts 2 passage and the Acts 2 church is telling us if we actually want to experience the Spirit's movement in us, embodied within our community, that points to Jesus, like Pastor Jael was saying, then it matters how we're going to live with one another, how we have concern for one another, how we treat one another, how we love one another, how we share resources with one another, how we don't withhold from one another, how we have a pure and good motivation of love for one another and not try to manipulate or be possessive of one another, right? The thing that this passage is telling us about the Spirit is that the Spirit works within the center of how the community does life together.